What's good, everybody? It's your boy, the Qtip, and we're back with another video. Today, we are bringing you the 7th edition of Qtip's Corner. Before we get to that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you're checking out the other content on the page. As far as shorts, we're going to be bringing some basketball content very soon. So make sure you're on the lookout for that. And again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribing. Let me know how you're feeling about Qtip's Corner. Let me know how you're feeling about the end of game breakdowns, all the things. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you want to hear from me. And then that's it. Let's get straight to it. The 7th edition of Qtip's Corner, the spotlight will be on Cecilia Zandalasini out of Italy. Played her first 3 seasons with Minnesota. Those 3 years were split up. The first 2 years she played 2017, 2018. Then she did not come back to the WNBA until 2024, which was last year. Playing with the Minnesota Lynx again. Averaged 12 minutes a game, averaged 4 points a game, shot 44% from 3 in 2018. That was the most minutes she had prior to this current season, or this past season. She had 16 minutes a game, 5 points a game, and 38% from 3. So always been a great shooter, even overseas when she plays with Italy. Phenomenal shooter, phenomenal scorer, and rebounder as well. Really, really underrated rebounder for her size. She's 6'2", so kind of like that. She's kind of in that small forward, power forward range, but she doesn't look like a power forward when you're looking at her, and by the way she plays. So she is a good rebounder for her size. This season, though, phenomenal season. Again, she played with the Golden State Valkyries. This was their first season, and they were one of my favorite teams to watch, if not my favorite team to watch all season. And she was a big part of that. I liked what I saw from her in Minnesota last year, so I was happy to see her get a bigger role here. She had a couple setbacks, and then she had a time where she was out. I mean, she was playing pretty well, then went to Eurobasket, missed about a month of games from June to July, and then came back in July, had a few games where she was coming off the bench for a little bit, and then she got rolling, had back-to-back 20-point games, which you'll see in the TikTok highlight reel, which will be linked in the description, so you can find that too. Then she had another 17-point game after that, and I think she slowed down, and then she had another good game, and then she got hurt and missed, I want to say, about 4 to 5 games. She played 19 games this season, started 10. I don't remember exactly how many she missed due to Eurobasket, so I think she missed maybe 4 to 5 games late in the season. Came back. I think she came back in the playoffs. I think that was her first game back, and she dropped 14 in both of those playoff games that they played against Minnesota, which was the number 1 seed. But let's get to this season. This season, she averaged 10 points a game, 44% from the floor, 40% from 3, 87% from the free throw line. Super efficient. And for someone that is known as at least in the WNBA terms, for someone that's known as a shooter, she's way more capable than just being a shooter. She's comfortable putting the ball on the floor. She's comfortable using screens and using and being a pick and roll creator, pick and roll initiator, finding teammates, creating for herself. She's got a good one-legged step back that she likes to get to, or one-legged fadeaway that she likes to get to. She likes to shoot the step back too, going to the left, which a lot of right-handed players like to do. If I'm thinking about it correctly, I'd rather step back to the left than step back to the right, because if you're stepping back to the right and you're right-handed, it's more of a side step. If you're stepping back to the left, you can step back and you can side step. So she has a really good side step / step back 3. Phenomenal off the ball. Of course, she's a shooter, so you have to be good at moving off the ball. But she navigates screens really well, whether she has the ball in her hands or not. And the thing that, I don't want to say shocked me, but the thing that impressed me the most this year was just the shot creation, really, and then the efficiency with it. Shooting 44% from the field, almost 45. She shot 44.7. So if you want to round it up, you can round it up. But shooting 45% from the field, and being at a certain point, she was a vocal point of the offense because of how well she was shooting the ball. And she shoots a 3 out of volume. She shot 5 threes per game. And especially when she went on her run where she was 20 points, 17 points. Teams were really trying to lock in on her. This was after Kayla Thornton got hurt, so it wasn't really there was a ton of players on the team that you have to focus on, or you have to make sure that you have locked down. Janelle Salam was phenomenal all season. Veronica Burton was also great. But it wasn't those two were like the top of the scouting report, and it was like, okay, we don't know what else we're gonna do after that, or like we don't have to worry about anybody else. Like Zandalasini made herself a hot commodity. I feel like this is somebody that when teams are looking at who they want to bring in, it's going to be way easier to bring her in this year than it was last year. And granted, she wasn't protected by Minnesota, and I think Minnesota could have used her this year, honestly, with the way that Bridget Carlton shot the ball, and then Carly Samuelson getting hurt. I think they could have used her. Just the size, the rebounding, the three-point shooting, the shot creation. I think the Lynx were missing some of that. And she was really just a huge piece for Golden State, and just being able to be somebody that is experienced, which it doesn't seem experienced because she's only played 3 or 4 years now in the W, but she's 29 years old. She's played overseas. She's been playing for Eurobasket and playing for the Italian national team since she was really young. So all these things help when they come into the league, and people don't really think about it, and it's always like the age thing instead of just giving them props on their journey. They did the same thing with Kat Westbrook. They did the same thing with Rebecca Gardner years ago. Instead of just giving them props on their journey, they just keep going back to the age thing. And I think Zandalasini is still a young player and still a player that can get better in the W's frame. And what I appreciate most about her game is the slight movements, like to the left and to the right. And I'm someone that loves to shoot the ball when I play pickup and things like that. So seeing players like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the players that I've spotlighted or highlighted have been either like versatile players or shooters that can do more than just shoot the ball. And that's exactly what she is. She's a player that can space the floor really well and just knows when to move and when not to, and is able to shoot and is able to make tough shots, not just wide open threes, because almost anybody, I don't want to say anybody can make a wide open three, but if you're a pro, you're expected to make the wide open three. There's a lot of threes that she got that you'll see in the TikTok highlight reel that weren't open. Like, she took some tough shots. She came off some screens really hard. And that's the thing that some people don't appreciate or don't understand, is like how hard it is to sprint off of a screen, catch it and shoot it in rhythm and not be knocked off balance, or not be like unconcentrated, like still being able to concentrate on the rim and on the shot. I think she deserves a lot of credit for that. And we've seen a lot of shooters that are in the league that like they can shoot the ball really well from far, but when they're coming off a screen, it's a little bit different. Or if they're coming off ball and they got to get it up quickly, it's a little bit different. So she deserves a lot of credit. She's a good defender as well. She was getting her hands in the cookie jar quite a bit. She had one game against Atlanta where she had 4 steals. She hit a game winner against Atlanta as well. She had, like I mentioned, the 20-point game, the 17-point game. She had an 18-point game. I think she might have had 2 18-point games this season. Yeah, I was really impressed with the way that she played this year. I liked what I saw from her last season with Minnesota, even in the limited minutes. And I think this is a season that if she wants to come back next year, this is a brand of basketball that she can play on any team. And that's a huge thing, because not a lot of players can do that. Not a lot of players can be valuable on any team they play on. But I think she's one of those players that isn't going to do too much, but is able to do more than what you expect. I think Golden State were glad that they were able to pick her up, but I don't think they expected her to come in and average 10 points and shoot 8 shots per game. And the variety of shots, it wasn't just 3-point shots, or it wasn't just layups. Like, she was able to score at every level. She was able to score in the mid range. She was able to score at the rim. She was able to score at the free throw line. Efficiently, she shot 87%. She was able to shoot from 3, off the dribble, off the catch. She was able to create for others. She averaged a career high in assists, career high in rebounds, career high in steals. And she got to the free throw line almost 2 times a game, which for a jump shooter, or for a player that's known to be a shooter, getting to the free throw line in a 40-minute game, and she averaged 23 minutes a game. So you really got to look at when she played heavy minutes and when she was a starter versus when she was coming back from Eurobasket, or started a season where she didn't play a ton of minutes when Kayla Thornton was still there, Tiffany Hayes was healthy, Kate Martin was getting minutes. And it was just a weird season a little bit in terms of like rotation, like consistency with the rotation with Golden State, but they were still able to make it work, obviously. I just really enjoyed watching her, and I ended up picking her up on one of my fantasy teams later in the season. And a lot of times, like, I try not to pick the players that I really enjoy watching, because sometimes they don't get the minutes that I hope for, like Haley Jones. And I try not to pick players that I like, because I'm a little superstitious as well. So it's like, if I pick them up, they might not play as well anymore. They might stop playing well. So when I picked her up, that's when she started going on the run. I picked her up before that. And then she had the 20 points, and then 17 points. I think I was going against Bryce in the playoffs. And then the second week of the playoffs the second week of that first round of the playoffs against Bryce, she got hurt. So she had missed like the 4 or 5 games or whatever. But I say all that to say is Cecilia Zandalasini is a very versatile scorer. She's not just a 3-point shooter. She's not just a spot-up shooter. Like, she can do so much on the court, and I think she deserves a lot more credit for that. I hope that people see the value in her this offseason if she wants to continue to play over here, because sometimes the players get paid more overseas and they stay over there. But I would love to see her back. I would love to see her play again in the WNBA. I think she can continue to get better in this realm. And I really just enjoy watching her play basketball. Like, that's really what it comes down to for me when I'm looking at basketball players. Is like, do I enjoy watching them play basketball? Do I feel like they play a winning brand of basketball? Do I feel like they play a smart brand of basketball, like a brand of basketball that I would want to play? Like, I'm sure when I am playing, I know I don't take the best shots all the time, but 99% of the time, I feel like when I take a shot, it's a shot that I can make, and it's a shot that I've practiced. When there are players that shoot shots that it's just like, what are you doing? I can't really get with that. And that's never really been the kind of players that I like. And that's no shot to them, no shot to people that enjoy watching them play. That's just the people that I've enjoyed watching have been the more efficient, get to their spots, less dribble kind of players. I say all that to say, again, I said that already, but I say that all to say is I wanted to give love to Cecilia Zandalasini on the season that she had, because she just was phenomenal this year, in my opinion. And the role that she had, she wasn't an all-star or anything like that, but to play 23 minutes a game, average 10 points, shoot 40% from the 3-point line, and be a focal point of an offense, I think that was really big for her and her confidence and progression as a pro, even if it's just taking it overseas and being able to grow that way, which sometimes that does happen. Sometimes people play over here and then they go overseas and they play a lot better overseas. Sometimes vice versa. They struggle in the W, then they go play well overseas, and then they come back and they play well in the W. So I hope to see her back next year. Let me know if you guys enjoy watching the Valkyries this year, if there's any players that you think I haven't talked about yet that I might get to, or that you want me to get to. Obviously, if I'm not a huge fan of their game, I'm probably not going to do it. But I would love, like, if you have somebody, I would love to hear your reasoning or hear why they are that for you. So again, let's make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and be in tune for the next one, because I'm going to start doing women's college basketball players very soon as we lead up to the women's college basketball season that starts November 3rd. So I'll probably do 2 to 3 more W players before I get to women's college basketball players. Maybe they'll start kind of soon. Maybe I'll start one, and then I'll go back to WNBA, we'll see. Just kind of brainstorming out loud right now. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you tune in to the next one.